Hello, in this video we're going to be having a look at preparing photographs for uploading to a website. So the first thing to understand is why we need to do any preparation at all. Well, there's two reasons. One is adjusting the size of the file so that it displays the best it possibly can on a website. And the second reason is to make any aesthetic edits that you may want to do, like brightening the photograph, increasing the contrast or anything like that, or even cropping the image down to a different size to take in blank space from the top, the bottom, or the side. We may also want to do things like take a portrait image and make it into a landscape image, or vice versa, and all those things are possible. So without further ado, let's head over to the desktop. So here we are on the standard Windows desktop. Obviously yours would look different to this, but the principles are exactly the same. So before we actually get into editing as such, I want to talk quickly about a bit of organization. So if we head down to the toolbar at the bottom and open File Explorer, we'll see that usefully Windows shows our most commonly used folders, and one of those is called Pictures, and it's worth putting your photographs into pictures, as logical as that may sound, and then creating yourself a new folder for every piece of work you do. And within that folder, I've got one here called Photo Prep Tutorial Video, which is what we're looking at now. If I open that up, I've created two folders within there, edited images and original images. And when I download something from my camera, from a memory stick, from Google Photos, or from my phone, I can pop it straight into original images, and this way we can keep things organized. Now I've already put some photos in here which I'm going to be using as an example, but if I look in edited images, right now that's empty. So once I've edited something, I'm going to save it into edited images. That way I can keep myself organized. Now you don't have to keep this folder. Once you've finished editing and uploaded to the website, you can delete this, unless they're particularly special images that you want to keep, but you've now got them stored on the website, so there's little point in having them in two places. So you can always delete this high level folder once you've finished editing. So usefully, if I look in at original images, if I right click, I can say open with, and Windows has a very useful utility called Photos, which is a photo viewer, but also contains enough editing tools to be able to do what we want to do. So the first image I'm going to use is that one. I'm going to say open with Photos. Okay, and that'll open in a window like this, and you can expand it to make it full screen if you wish, but we'll just keep it like this. Now obviously this image needs rotating, so usefully at the top here we can see this little rotate symbol, and I can continue to click that multiple times until I've got it in the orientation that I need. And the other thing here, sorry, there's a jet aircraft flying over. The other thing I can do here, that I want to do here, is to crop it, because we've got part of the table in here, part of the table at the bottom, we've got this shadow here. So I'm going to enhance this photo now to make it look a little bit better, and to do that I'm going to click in the edit image here, and I will just expand this out full size so you can see better. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, you notice if I hover over these handles at the corners or the sides, I can click, hold and pull down. So I'm going to take it just there to the edge of that shadow. I'm going to take it up like so until it's balanced top and bottom. I'm going to take it in at the sides carefully so that I don't lose anything, like so, and that's quite well balanced there. I can see here it's about 2,400 pixels wide. That's great. we will be resizing that. Now, the other thing I might want to do is to make this a little bit lighter at the background and enhance the colors. So I click into adjustment here. The first thing I'm going to do is to use this shadows control here, which is for taking out shadows, of course, in photos, but we can also use it to adjust the color of a background slightly. And you'll see that as I move this up and down, there's very slight changes there. So I'm just going to leave it about there. I'm going to play with my highlights here just to get it even. I'm going to adjust my exposure up slightly to make it look a bit brighter, and then I'm going to increase my saturation to make the colors pop. Excuse me. I'm going to increase the warmth a little bit just to give it a little bit more character. So that's pretty good. I'm liking that. So we'll go back into our crop here. That still looks okay. I can probably take it down a wee bit more like so. 2493. That's great. I'm going to save a copy, and we'll now put this into our edited images, so we keep them separate. And it's important to title them because your image might be called, just a bunch of random characters. It's always good to keep organized by making it something meaningful. We'll call this Dragonfly Edit. Okay, we'll save that. Now it's saved, but I now want to check how big in terms of pixels the image is, because I don't want it any more than about 1200 pixels wide. It doesn't need to be any wider than that for a website at all. So if I head up to this top bar, I can see the three dots here. Click on that, and one of the options I have here is resize. So I'm just going to take that from 2493 wide to 1200. I'm going to keep the quality the same. In fact, what I can do, it's worth doing actually, is you can get quality at 65 is perfectly good for a website, and it helps to keep the image size down. You'll see we've gone from about 900 kilobytes, which is almost a megabyte, down to a tenth of that just by resizing like that. So it's definitely worth doing. Takes up less space on your website and makes it faster for people to see when they're viewing it. So we'll just save that. We'll save it over the top of the one we've done. Yes, I do want to replace it, and that's the job's done on that image. So the next one we'll do is to take another one of our images for editing. We'll use this one here. Somewhere here it is. Now, this is an image taken in portrait format that would actually have been better taken in landscape. We've also got a lot of white ceiling here, windows and stuff, which is pretty irrelevant to the photo. We want to actually make the people in the table the main subject. So the first thing we'll do is to go into edit like so. Now we looked last time at just grabbing these handles and pulling them, which is fine, but we can actually click down here and choose a predefined aspect ratio. 16:9 is a popular one. It's a preferred option for web photographs on the web, and we can see it's put a border in. I can move it around to crop things out how I want. So that's a fairly well balanced image like so. That's good. I will go into adjustment, and it's already quite a vibrant photo, but a lot of these whites kind of scream out a bit. They're probably too white, so I'm going to take the highlights down slightly, and you'll see that the image overall is darkening, but we'll correct that with increasing the exposure slightly. Like so. We're back to where we were, which is good. And now I'm just going to warm up the image a bit to give it that slightly effect of kind of natural sunlight, which makes for a better image. And I'm happy with that, so I'm going to save that, And now I'm going to come up here and look at the overall image size. By the way, looking at this again, sometimes you have to take several bites at this. I've probably got too much space on that left hand side, so let's just go and remedy that by going into image again. I'm just going to pull this in slightly from the left, crop off a little bit of the table, but that's fine. And then I'm just going to save that again. That's good. Much nicer image. And now I'm going to just check the image size. I don't need it any more than 1200. And a quality of 60, 65 would be fine. And that's almost reduced the file size by by 90%. So that's definitely worth doing. So save that, and we'll call this, I've already got it called portrait, we'll keep it like that. And the other image we'll just have a look at is this chap here. So I'm going to open it, we'll go full screen on that. And what I want to do here is focus in as much as I can on the face of the fox. Try and keep his breakfast out of it. So I'm going to go into here. I'm going to pull down from the top. I'm going to pull up to the bottom. Now, what we'll see here is that the photo, I can't really crop down anymore, because if I come in from the side like so, and in from the side like so, which is a great portrait photo with the eyes in the tooth that rule of thirds, the problem with this is that the image is going to be too small for the website. Now, an image that is too small for the website is actually even worse than an image that is too large, because you can never successfully make an image larger than it is. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. So if you have a small image to start with, there's very little we can do in terms of making it usable on the website. But just for demonstration like so, I'm just going to save that. And now I'm going to go here to image, resize image, and I'm going to make it 1200 wide. Now we'll see what happens when I save this. I'll keep the quality quite high because we're going to lose some resolution. So we'll call this Foxy, like so. Okay, so there's our imaging done. We've got a lot of other filters and things that we can play with, but I've edited those images ready for upload to the website. Let's close ourselves out of this now completely, and we'll go back into our folder, into our pictures. So going into edited images now, I can see there's our 3 images that we've looked at. I can just review those by open with photos if I want to see what they actually look like, and they're pretty good. Foxy's come out particularly well. Nice bit of detail still there, even though we've enlarged it slightly. It's still pretty good, so we got away with that. That's cool. And there's our images ready to upload. So that is simple photo editing in Microsoft Photos. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.